Can Iraq control the value of the US dollar? A deep dive into currency reforms. Hello everyone, and welcome back to IQD to VND. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Our goal is to hit 300 subscribers by the end of March, and with your support, we can make it happen. Today, we're diving into a fascinating and highly debated topic: the Central Bank of Iraq's, CBI, recent efforts to reduce the value of the US dollar in Iraq. This announcement has raised many questions. Can Iraq really control the value of the US dollar? Is it even possible? After all, the US dollar is one of the most powerful currencies in the world. In this video, we will break down what the Central Bank of Iraq can and cannot do when it comes to currency valuation. We'll also explore the long-discussed Delete the Zeros project and its potential impact on Iraq's economy. If you're keen on understanding global financial trends, this is a topic you won't want to miss. The Central Bank of Iraq's announcement recently. The Central Bank of Iraq made headlines by stating its intention to reduce the value of the US dollar within Iraq. At first glance, this might sound like a promising move for those hoping for a stronger Iraqi dinar. However, we need to examine the details to truly understand its implications. Can Iraq control the US dollar's value? One crucial fact to remember is that the Central Bank of Iraq does not control the value of the US dollar. The dollar's strength is determined by the United States through economic policies, interest rates, trade balances, and other global financial factors. So, if Iraq cannot control the dollar itself, how can it influence the exchange rate? The answer lies in strengthening the Iraqi dinar relative to the dollar. By making the dinar stronger, the exchange rate shifts, making it appear as though the dollar is losing value inside Iraq. But in reality, what's happening is the dinar is gaining strength, which could help stabilize the economy. The Delete the Zeros project. One of the major strategies being discussed in Iraq's financial reforms is the Delete the Zeros project. This idea has been on the table for years, and the Central Bank of Iraq has periodically brought it up as a potential solution to improve the country's financial system. What is the Delete the Zeros project? The project involves removing 3 zeros from the Iraqi dinar. For example, a 1,000 dinar note would be redenominated to a 1 dinar note. The main goal behind this initiative is to simplify transactions and make the currency more manageable, ultimately boosting confidence in the dinar. Imagine a scenario where 1 IQD equals 1 USD. Instead of carrying thousands of dinars to equal $1, transactions would be much easier and more practical. This could help stabilize the economy, increase public trust in the currency, and strengthen Iraq's financial standing. The challenges of removing zeros. While this plan sounds promising, executing it is a complex process that requires a stable economic foundation. If not handled carefully, it could lead to inflation, economic instability, and a loss of trust in the dinar. The Central Bank of Iraq must be extremely cautious and transparent in implementing this transition to avoid unintended negative consequences. How will this affect Iraqi citizens? Any changes to currency policies directly impact the daily lives of Iraqi citizens. If the dinar strengthens, imported goods might become cheaper, making foreign products more affordable. However, prices of domestically produced goods could fluctuate as the economy adjusts. On the flip side, if the dinar weakens further, prices could rise, making everyday expenses more costly. This would be particularly challenging for those living on fixed incomes, as even small currency fluctuations can significantly impact their purchasing power. The role of oil in Iraq's economy. One of the most critical factors in Iraq's financial stability is oil. Iraq's economy is heavily dependent on oil revenues, and fluctuations in global oil prices directly impact the value of the dinar. If oil prices rise, Iraq benefits economically, which could help strengthen the dinar. If oil prices fall, Iraq could face financial instability, leading to a weaker dinar. A look back at 2020 provides a clear example of this dynamic. When oil prices crashed during the COVID-19 pandemic, Iraq's economy suffered severely, and the dinar's value was negatively affected. The Central Bank of Iraq had to take emergency measures to stabilize the situation. Today, while Iraq aims to reduce the dominance of the US dollar in its economy, achieving this goal requires much more than just policy announcements. It demands concrete, economic actions and structural stability. Key indicators to watch. As Iraq moves forward with its financial plans, there are several crucial factors to keep an eye on. 1. Oil prices. Since Iraq's economy is heavily dependent on oil, any fluctuations in oil prices will likely impact the dinar's strength. 2. Inflation rates. Rising inflation could indicate economic instability, potentially undermining efforts to strengthen the dinar. 3. Official announcements from the CBI. Monitoring statements from the Central Bank of Iraq will provide insights into their currency policies and potential reforms. 4. Public confidence. How do Iraqis feel about these financial changes? Are they trusting the government's efforts, or are they hoarding US dollars out of fear? Public sentiment plays a significant role in determining the success of any currency reform. Foreign investment and economic guarantees. The success of Iraq's financial reform also depends on attracting foreign investment. Investors need confidence in Iraq's currency policies to bring capital into the country. If they see uncertainty, they might pull their investments, leading to economic instability. On the other hand, if Iraq can provide solid guarantees that their currency reforms will lead to stability and growth, foreign investors may be more willing to invest in the Iraqi market. More investment means more economic growth, benefiting businesses and citizens alike. However, if these guarantees fail to materialize, Iraq could face higher inflation, economic uncertainty, and even further devaluation of the dinar. Final thoughts. Iraq is at a crucial turning point in its economic history. The Central Bank of Iraq has outlined ambitious plans to strengthen the dinar and reduce reliance on the US dollar. But success depends on careful execution, transparency, and global economic conditions. If Iraq can implement these reforms effectively, this could mark a transformative phase for the country's economy. However, if mismanaged, it could lead to further financial instability. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you believe Iraq can successfully strengthen the dinar? Or do you think the dominance of the US dollar is too powerful to challenge? Share your opinions in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into global economics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.